Okay. I just finished Fear Street on Netflix, and I don't understand some stuff. Like, it leads up to this big plot twist, and then defeats the whole purpose of it. Like, wouldn't there be there? Okay, spoilers. Fear Street 1, there's a curse, there's dead people rising, and there's a witch. Then you hear that she cursed the land. Then, second movie rolls by, it's got a lot of, solidarity. It starts kind of. But there's just a few things that just don't quite make sense. It's like, first of all, like, why would he curse people to get nothing? He doesn't live longer. You're just death noting everyone, right? So it's basically like Death Note. These movies are weird, but they're like good watch if you just want some scares and you don't care about continuity or anything like that. Anything relating to just I don't know. First movie, pretty okay. That's all I gotta say. The characters are pretty good. I feel like I wanted to explore some of them a little bit more, but they don't give you enough of that. They kind of just like want you to hate some of them a little bit, just a little bit annoying, so that when they die in the first one, you're like, okay, I kind of get it. But then some points I'm like, Arlstein, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? So when we get to the third movie, it ties everything from the first one into the end from 1978 to 1666. And the monsters, I'm just gonna go straight to the ending point here. This is what gets me the most, is the very point where you get to 1998 part 2. And the monsters disappear. Good's dead. He's the bad guy. Sorry, I'm spoiling. I don't care. If you haven't watched it, whatever. Go watch it. Then you'll get the whole lead up and you'll go, oh, cool. When he dies, wouldn't there be a different brother or sister that's still in the lineage, quote unquote? And then wouldn't the cursed cave still technically be there until they're all dead? And then why does one get hit by a truck randomly? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense. It's just freak accident. The universe went, "Meh, you're stupid. People across the street, are they related?" And then they're all like, "Oh no, we didn't know he was a serial killer." There's a very huge lack of or the scene where they spray the monsters and then they're all just killing each other over the blood on each other. And I'm like, but it's mixed with glow paint or whatever. It's just, how do you know how much blood content is versus when there's not enough blood content? I started thinking about the detail here, like if it's dried up or it's just, or there's some on him. Wouldn't he have protection because he's the guy doing the curse? Like, it just doesn't make sense why all of a sudden the monsters are like, let's kill him, let's kill Nick Good. And then he goes down to the cave. And then I forgot names already. Fuck. I just been watching and I forgot names. Shit. Fuck. Alright. Badass lesbian chick goes down to the cave. Chases Nick Good. Okay? As soon as he kills him, quote unquote, wouldn't Sam also be like, why is she half not cursed but half cursed? That makes no sense to me. Is it because she died and came back? There's just such a gray area. And then why is, girl from 78, redhead, not cursed like that, like half evil, or just that doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't make a lot of continuity sense to me. But there are some good things. So, in my opinion, 78 was the best one because it had the most just reality. I think that one had the most realistic characters. I'm not saying all of them didn't have realistic characters, but it just felt more grounded in a type of reality somewhat. Versus, the more, this is a very R.L. Stine goosebumpsy kind of thing that he's doing with these Okay, no, 1666 was pretty good too. The back in time ones were really good. I feel like maybe give some credit to the actors and directors for that too. Just trying to get it more accurate, but also the ending scene, the very end when the guys, the damn. Well, he was not in jail and he helped the kids, and then he's selling his radios to the other kids. Glad I'm not using names. Maybe you won't remember anything I'm saying here, because if I don't use names and I don't remember the names because I'm bad with names, that's fine. He's selling radios, and the girl goes, "Check me out online at this email," or "I know about SSDs," and I'm like, this is the 1990s when kids had SSDs. Okay, maybe I'm just ignorant and had online, Twitter accounts right then and there. Like, bro, you're missing a huge span of time compared to like the 1990s. So there's a lot of things like that. I feel like it's just like cowboys and aliens thrown into a ring and they just call it good. Yeah, it's generally an alternate reality. I guess people had SSDs when they had mobile radios. That makes no sense to me. And why would you carry an SSD on you to listen to music unless you just have a freaking SD card on your MP3 player, you mean? It's like they didn't even know what computers were when they were writing the story. So that kind of bothered me. I like the little brother. He's pretty cool. When he says this scene, when he talks about the Konami code, that's pretty cool. I think I relate to that in a sense, things that aren't not inherently related to the problem, but can be transferred into the solving a problem by just trying to relax your mind and think about something that does solve problems in circumstances. So I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good heartfelt moment. I don't know why he went up to Ruby, the girl slash wrist sings a lot or whatever with the razor, and just went, ah! Like, he didn't have to yell. He didn't have to yell. He could have just smacked. You know what I mean? And then why do the monsters all of a sudden, when they get smacked, turn around and go, I'm gonna smack you back? Like, they care, but they're not after your blood. But then when they are after your blood, it's just like, where's the line? Where's the line? Is what I mean. Where's it like? And then you gotta just kind of chalk it up to some hocusy pocusy stuff, right? You just go some hocusy pocusy. It's not very realistic, of course, but I just feel like there should be more lines, more drawn out, descriptions, because this story wants to have a hard magic curse system and a soft curse system at the same time. And that's where it fails. That's where it falls apart for me. But everything else is good. Like, characters are good, story's good. A lot of the dialogue back and forth between the characters works really organically, I feel like. Maybe not so much. Maybe there's a lot of scenes where they're like, my whole life I've been wanting to do. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. Larger than. But I feel like in the case where you're about ready to get killed by some monsters, that kind of matches it. What is it? Escalation? Yeah, that's a word. I'm not good with words. I've not been just recording enough. I'm going to try to keep doing that. The escalation feels on par, especially in 78. It's just in part 2 after 1666 where the escalation gets wonky. That's all I got to say. The ending doesn't feel justified. It doesn't feel like the curse had as much to it. It just kind of went... As soon as it was done, it just farted away, and I was like, cool. And then who leaves evidence in a cave? Who does that? And then the guy goes, look, mine. Like, Schmeagol finding the ring. Like, it's so cheesy. And... why? They could have done something with this. They could have had, like, the curse has so much more, They could have. I think the way it alluded from the beginning, I think they had some time making these, and I think R.L. Stine went, I could go a little bit further to like a part 4. This definitely could have had a part 4 to it. I feel like this may even have another whole series because of the whole book thing, but I feel like it should have had a more continuized, Good's not really dead, you know what I mean? The curse kept him alive. He's immortal. You know what I mean? There's gotta be something to it than just he died. You know what I mean? I don't know. I want more plot holes or loose ends filled. You know what I mean? Like in the first movie, the kids get in a wreck and they're like, stop the bus, but then you don't see the bus ever again. Bus is just gone. It's been removed from the entirety of the scene and reality itself within the movie. So that's a huge object, and characters just kind of meh, kind of eh. That's what they do with it. And same thing with Sam. They just kind of go, eh, she's got feelings. Meh, she kind of cares. That's just like, dude, that doesn't make any sense. Then all of the monsters should still care deep down, right? And what happened? So they said there was a bunch of the monsters that come back, except for the priest. He doesn't come back, but he should have, right? Every single one of them that's been written on the wall, quote unquote, that dies. I don't know. All the kids also so Back to the Future-y in the third movie. Yeah, they all die, but then they all come back in time. And you're like, okay, like I kind of like it, but at the same time it's kind of a little much. Like, okay, every character, jeez. All right, more screen time. So it kind of sucks you in reality and pulls you out, puts you in, pulls you out. And I think that's its own artistic, thing that it's doing with that specific one when they're doing 1666. But yeah, some of the scenes, with the priest, he cuts out eyes. Like, where is that in Halloween? And if it is during a cursed time, would they not be celebrating Halloween? But you see scenes with pumpkins outside of houses, right? But they shouldn't, because there's literal masked murderers walking around in Shadyside. So there's literally no Halloween, but then there is Halloween, but there isn't Halloween. You know what I mean? So they're all costumed. They all have like a mask on them. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them. Another thing is they always return to their original form. But with the boyfriend who dies in 78, the first death, who here he becomes the axe murderer, he gets sack pulled over his head and he suddenly becomes the guy with the sack on his face. Like, it's just a sack though. He originally looked like God, fuck. Yeah, I kind of just breezed through these, but he didn't have a sack on his head. He looked like a normal person, yet he had, blood on him. He should go back to that original form is what it should be. Just maybe, I guess it gives him like a scarecrow look. There's a point where I go, Arlstein, are you just being silly and just making them like funny characters? Like, oh, I have a little sack on his head. Like, bro, it's still murder. You know what I mean? They're still bad characters. I don't know. I don't want to give them that much fucking let me give them a design. I mean, Batman does the same thing. I don't know. Maybe you should give them a design, but I don't know. Do they have enough character to deserve a special thing? But they shouldn't have just disappeared, is what I'm saying. They should have returned. I would have liked to have seen the characters, even if it is the original actor or a new actor from the little kid with the bat, realize, oh, I'm me again. I'm in control again. Just like how Sam is back. No, there's some connection there. You know what I mean? Instead of just, poof, they're gone. Sam's still here. Sam should be gone, just like Thanos snapped. That's the only things. And then the curse should have a little bit more weight to it and just interconnectedness to the family lineage. And then Fear Street would be pretty solid 10 out of 10. But I'm going to give it a 7.8 and 8 out of 10 for that. I'm just going to have to dock 2 points for just the lack of continuity. But overall, I'd recommend watching it on Netflix if you haven't watched it. It's just a quick little review. I'm Markion, and I hope you're having a good night or day depending on where you're at, and I'll see you later. Bye.